No matter your field, your writing chops matter. And if writing isn't your forte, you might need the occasional refresher. Fortunately, a few tricks of the trade will help you elevate your writing from meh to wow. So strap in, because I'm gonna share 11 actionable tips to becoming a better writer right now. And stay tuned until the end for 4 great tools that will help you out even more. But before we dive in, please double check that you're subscribed to the AppSumo YouTube channel and turn on notifications. You can also give this video a thumbs up. We'd appreciate it. All right, let's dive in. Be consistent with your grammatical structure. The thing with grammar is, when it's done correctly, nobody notices it, which means inconsistent grammar sticks out like a sore thumb. Let's check out this web copy. Our services include wireframing, creating logos, to design websites. It's a hot mess. You have a present participle, a verb, a preposition, and even if you don't remember those terms from high school English, you can tell something is off with the way that copy's written. Instead, your bullet point should follow the same grammatical structure, like this. Our services include wireframing, creating logos, designing websites. See? Small tweaks, big improvement. Use both active and passive voice. Let's first do a quick recap of what those terms actually mean. Active voice is a sentence where the subject performs an action stated by the verb. For example, the online entrepreneur bought accounting software. Passive voice is a sentence where the subject receives the action expressed by the verb. For example, the accounting software was bought by the online entrepreneur. Here's an easy way to remember it. Passive voice is indicated by the use of to be verbs, including is, am, are, was, were, be, being, been. Now, a lot of writing advice will tell you to stick to active voice. I'm here to tell you it's bad advice. You want to mix it up with the occasional passive voice to add rhythm or to change the subject's focus in your writing. Surprise with the occasional sentence fragments. Like I said, mix things up. Sentence fragments might not have a place in academic writing or school essays, but let me tell you, they are very useful in blog posts or web copy because they quickly relay information in an impactful way. Sentence fragments can be the difference between clunky web copy and copy that sells. Check out how Copy Hackers uses 2 sentence fragments at the end of their copy. Sure, they could have said, so you get results like more leads and paid conversions. But that's a mouthful. Instead, they broke the long sentence into fragments, which makes you hang on to every important keyword and guarantees their core message sticks out. Get specific. Specificity is the key to clear, memorable writing. Specifics bring your products and services to life and fire up readers' imaginations. Let me give you an example. Say you're scrolling through a freelance content writer's website and see this headline: I write effective blog posts. Pretty generic and snoozeworthy, am I right? Instead, think about the age-old writing advice, show, don't tell. So, how can this content writer show the effectiveness of their blog posts? Maybe the headline could read, I write blog posts that rank on Google in 2 weeks. Then, they back that up with a testimonial or case study. Get clear and concise. Here's the thing. None of us are really internet readers, we're internet browsers. In fact, 55% of readers spend fewer than 15 seconds active on any web page. So to encourage visitors to stay on your page as long as possible, you want to make your writing as user-friendly as possible. One easy way to accomplish this is by focusing on meaningful keywords. Here's an editing exercise for you. Take one of your bulkier pieces of copy and bold the essential keywords, the ones that are really going to grip a casual web browser. Then, trim down the language around the bolded words with clarity in mind. See if you can cut down the word count by 20%. Now that you've made your copy more concise, readers will follow to the end as though zooming down a water slide. Hey you, if you're digging these tips so far, give this video a thumbs up. And now we're going to transition into a couple high-level tips for writing better content. Gather fresh perspectives. Chances are you've noticed that the first page of any Google search is flooded with copycat content that repeats the same points over and over again. So how do you beat this in your posts? You start by sharing original insights. You could use journalism tools like Hario to call on for quotes from subject matter experts, or source for real stories in community groups. Your Facebook group is probably buzzing with fresh perspectives that will make your content stand out from the rest. Plus, research adds depth to your claims and improves the overall credibility of your post. To that end, use Google the right way. By simply adding quotation marks around your search keywords, you're more likely to find content that you couldn't have unearthed otherwise. Explore People Also Ask and Search Related on Google. This tip is especially useful when you're outlining a post. Instead of relying on a random burst of inspiration, check out the People Also Ask and Searches Related option on Google to find out what else users want to know. These two sections will help you determine the angle and main sections of your post. Leave the introduction and conclusion for last. Once you've conducted research and poked around Google, you'll have a rough idea of what your post is going to be about. Specifically, the main points that will shape the body of the post, which in turn informs the introduction and conclusion. So work on the body first. Once that's done, you'll be able to find the most suitable hook for the intro and best call to action for your conclusion. Imitate the best writers on the web. Fun fact, when Neolab surveyed 1,000 working professionals, they discovered that 95% of the respondents found it easier to remember things when they've written them down. Sure, this is a nod to note-taking, but it also translates to your writing habits as well. So pick your favorite piece by the writers you admire and handwrite them. Yes, handwrite them. The simple act of writing by hand helps you see that every word is put there for a reason. And as you progress, you'll start to pay more attention to your word choice and writing style. Make this a habit. Start by blocking out a specific time of every day, say 20 to 30 minutes, to sit down and write. Got writer's block? Keep a swipe file. Everyone has an off day. If you ever find yourself stuck, go through excellent writing to get inspired. Start by gathering interesting copy and content you've come across online and save them in a swipe file. Pro tip, download full page screen capture. Whenever you come across a fantastic piece of copy, just click the extension on the top bar to take a full screenshot. Then, download it as a PDF or PNG image and save it to your folder. If content writing still feels daunting, don't worry. There are tools that have your back. So let me walk you through 4 of them right now. Linguix is an awesome AI-powered writing assistant that checks your writing for errors like typos and punctuation as you go and provides helpful recommendations. This is the essential sidekick for every professional writer. Hemingway is another popular writing tool among bloggers and professional writers. Hemingway highlights wordy sentences, passive voice, and unnecessary adverbs, 3 universal pet peeves among the grammarians out there. AirStory is an underrated tool for writers who do substantial research. Its award-winning features include the outline view and citation cards. Plus, whenever you come across a noteworthy sentence, you can simply highlight the text and right-click Save Text to AirStory. It'll automatically send to your document, no copy and paste required. Last but not least, OhmWriter lets you write in full screen mode with 0 distraction. OhmWriter also comes with audio tracks that help you focus even better. So remember, practice makes permanence. Leveling up from a good writer to a great one boils down to 3 things: skills, process, and habits. Now, all that's left is to take what you learned here and put it into practice. Once you're ready to take these skills to the bank, check out our video on how to become a copywriter. And make sure you subscribe to the AppSumo YouTube channel for more tips and tricks on how to take your business savvy to the next level.